Hello everybody, and it's Stephanie again. I hope everyone is having a good first week of your New Year's. I realized that I have been saving up 2 pages worth of YouTube videos. I thought I only had one to do this week, but I forgot that I didn't flip the page over. So I'm going to do 2 videos back to back, so one tomorrow will also be filling you in of all the stuff that happened this week. So that was a first for me. Normally I do a big X across the middle when I'm done with it, but this one was on the back side, so I didn't see. So there was a lot to catch up on. Mostly, especially a lot of more klutzy stuff the last week, and also I feel like I'm forgetting stuff again really easily, so bear with me because this does have a lot of things. I thought I had one more. Oh, I had a sticky note that fell off. Oh no, that would have meant something else being forgotten. Okay, so prepare yourselves. It's gonna take a little while. Oh yes, that was my first note, was that I had 2 YouTube videos worth of stuff, and so I'm gonna put that over here. I don't have to remember what's on that. So, I almost put my slippers in the laundry basket yesterday. I scraped my, let me just describe a little bit about the bed and the dresser. You guys might see here, I have this nice big body pillow between the space of between the dresser and the bed, since my brother moved it over enough that it cuts down on hurting myself. But I thought if I just put this giant pillow here, it will prevent a lot of bonks, and it has. But the funny thing is, sometimes I still manage to get my elbow with the tiny place of desk that is exposed. And also, on my bed frame seems to be the thing I hit a lot, especially when I'm getting into bed. So several times I scraped my knee on the bed, getting in my bed. So I think when I move into my parents' property, the house, that I'll probably have a bed that doesn't have any wood or anything that I can bonk myself on. So this was my solution though, and see, it's nice because I can use it as a little pillow too. Okay, so, oh yes, so I also was sleeping, and I didn't know, I toss and turn a lot on this bed, so I thought I was a lot further into the middle of the bed when I turned over, so my leg slipped down onto the edge of the bed, and I caught my heel in between where the bed frame is, and yes, and that really hurt. Let's see, I hit my arm on, oh yes, this was first. Sometimes when I sit on the potty, my arms don't realize like what's behind me, so I hit my arm on the flusher, and hit my, I hit my shin on the bed frame twice. Oh, I told you guys that. I haven't done this in a while, but put my sweatpants on backwards, and then also put my underwear on inside out, which, again, I did this a lot back when I was living in Rochester, so, but that's been happening a little bit more. Let's see. Oh, yes, I have my 2 plugs that are plugged into the outlet down by my bed, and one of them is for the charger for my computer and one is for my phone, and I went to get the one for my phone and tried to put the one from the computer into my phone, so that was kind of interesting. Oh yes, okay, good, this one's gone. Oh yes, okay, hold on, let me stay in order so I don't confuse myself. Oh yes, open the freezer, when I meant to get my spoon. Oh yeah, that was weird. I was going to get my spoon off the counter for putting my Nesquik in my coffee and open the freezer instead. And extra, oh yes, I'm extra forgetful. I already told you guys that. I don't want to forget that I just said I'm forgetful. Okay. oh yes, so I Skyped with Juniper earlier this week, and this time, like, she started crying when she had to say goodbye, and that is always harder for me when I have to say goodbye when she is crying, so then I cried a little bit after that, and I think since I've been in this really good place of, having peace, that was the first time in a little while that I actually, got to tears after, Skyping with one of the kids. But then we made up for it when I got to have FaceTime with my daughter, that is my ex-stepdaughter, and Juniper. I got to read them both a story because she was there that weekend, and that was really cool, so. Alright, oh yes, my sweatshirt I also put on backwards, so this part is happening a little bit more. So I got insomnia really bad, and I think you guys know, generally, I am in the system now where I stay up until 10:30, and I take my amitriptyline, like about an hour and a half before I want to go to sleep, and then the CBD, the marijuana tincture, I take an hour before I'm planning on being asleep. So I have been doing this, and it's been working, but then there are those occasional nights I just can't get comfortable, and not able to really fall asleep. So I got up and went downstairs and brought my book down to read with me, and took the CBD again, and it actually really helped, and I was actually able to fall back asleep, like real sleep. So that almost never happens if I have to get up and go somewhere else in the midst of the insomnia. Usually it's hard to go back to sleep, so that was great. And also, so then later that day, the next day I was downstairs in the living room, and I looked, and I'm like, why is my book down here? Did Isaiah come in my room and get it? And then I'm like, oh yes, that's right, you were down here last night. Okay. Oh yes. Tried to scoot up in the bed. That's usually where I end up hurting myself if I'm not careful, because what I prop my feet on, they usually slip. So that did happen, and that I hit my shin with my foot, so I kicked myself in the shin, which was also a first. Okay. I think, oh yes, my pencil hit yes, I told you guys, I did hit my elbow on the place that is exposed on my dresser, and, oh yes, when I go in the garage to get the milk out of the fridge, because that is where there's the most space for the big thing of coffee that I have, I came back with the milk instead of the coffee. So, oh no, the coffee instead of the milk. But I was like, alright. And also, this happens to me all the time, but I have pencils like everywhere, because usually if something happens, like a symptom I want to scribble down for the video, so I usually have sticky notes and mechanical pencils. So I have them in certain places. One place I always keep it on my planner, and then I have sticky notes. There's this little area between like the dining room and the couch, and I keep sticky notes there and a pencil, and then I keep a pencil on top of the fridge for writing on my grocery list. So that's my downstairs pencils that I always, have, but for some reason, it's just, I just always lose them. So I had literally been using one pencil, and the other two were placed where they are, and then I lost that pencil somehow, and I can't find it anywhere. Sometimes they just turn up, and I'm like, oh. So that was like, I had to bring down another pencil, but I have bags of mechanical pencils, because I go through them so quickly, so, it's just a matter of going upstairs and grabbing another one, but that has been happening more, losing my pencils, so that's better than losing my marbles, so, okay. Alright, gosh, I think we got through this one. The song I want to do today is I Am Not Alone, because it's so important to remember that, especially when we feel like for whatever reason, like God is far away from us. So that will be the song. And I wanted to do another one from the Amy Carmichael, and this is awesome because it's every winter comes to an end, and because we're like slowly going into spring here, maybe not where you guys live, but in Colorado Springs it's like, you know, pre-spring, but this was just really fitting about the new life and that. So see the winter, I'll tell you the two verses. There's 2 verses at the beginning, then a little prayer at the end. So I'll see what the verses are once I read the scriptures. But see, the winter is past, the rains are over and gone, flowers appear on the earth, the season of singing has come, the blossoming vines spread their fragrance. Arise, come with me, and that's Song of Solomon 2:11 through 13. And then the next verse, the Lord your God is with you. He will take great delight in you. He will rest you with his love. He will rejoice over you with singing. And that's Zephaniah 3:17. This morning, and just so you guys remember, Amy Carmichael's the woman who is, she's an invalid, and she writes these from that place. So this morning, my helpers turned my chair so that I could see the leafy enclosure upon which my room opens, and all this sweet greenness and dewy freshness is a message. Leaves and flowers, down to the least bud, are nourished by the living sap within. They do not cause it to rise. They do not cause it to rise or regulate its flow. They do not understand its mysterious power, but as it flows through them, it revives them, renews them. We may have others to help us, or we may have no one, but whether we are set in families or must face circumstances alone, we know that we must depend on something that is not of ourselves to keep us fresh and green. Sometimes we are too spent even to pray for this renewing life to flow within. We need not pray. There are times when all that is asked of us is just what is asked of the leaves and flowers to remain in the plant. The sap flows up to them. And another verse, as the Father has loved me, so I loved you. Now remain in my love. John 15:9. The most tired of us can remain, stay there, be there. No words can be too simple to explain what our Lord means by this. He says simply, do not go away. Even if we are completely silent, asking nothing, only letting our hearts rest in quietness in him, he will cause the renewing of life sap to rise. The things we would least choose to have are round about us, but in these things, says Rutherford, do not let yourself be thrown down or give in to despair. Stand evenly at the will of God. For after winter comes summer, and after night comes the dawn, and after every storm there comes a clear open skies. And this is the prayer. My Father, all that has gone cold and lifeless in me, is it just your planned stillness before new life flows? Are the hands I've clenched in troubled prayer like tight leaf buds about to spread into open-handed praise because your Spirit comes again? I believe, Father, that the joy of a new season in you is warming me right now. So I hope you guys were encouraged, especially by the devotional. And yes, I will talk when I have more to say. And you know I have more to say tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day.